Klaus, very welcome. Thank you for taking the time and sitting down with me in your busy schedule. Very much appreciated. Klaus, I think you're a superman because you're now chairing both the ESA seed treatment working group as well as the ISF working group on the topic. Could you expand a little bit on the differences between the two groups?
Well, first of all, thanks for the invitation. It's a pleasure to join in and to have this interview. And in respect to the different tasks within ESA and ISF, I think there is one big difference. Within ISF, we are really trying to accumulate informations and transport them from regions into other regions, into other national associations. Whereas in ESA, we have a more focused work on the one hand side, working with the national associations like within ISF, but on the other side, a very close negotiation side with the EU Commission. And that's the biggest difference. We really have within ESA more impact in the region with the position of the Office of the People and the links we have into EU Commission, to DG Sante and other general directorates.
Yeah, I understand. So when you are the chair of these two working groups, that puts you in the ideal position to make that bridge between the two working groups. Why is it so important to make that bridge?
I think the real important point is that we have now the chance to transport one by one without having people intermediating informations, to transport the informations right from a party who is participating in the one and in the other meeting. And the most important thing within ISF is really to get this communication running. And communication is only worthwhile if you have to communicate something, if you have to if you really have facts and can you explain what's going on. And I mean, this is a big issue in the moment here in Europe. We are getting more and more restricted in seed treatment solutions, and to inform the other regions about developments here, and Europe has always been the highest regulated area worldwide, is always worthwhile to transport it, and that's a big chance I see personally to really do so.
Yeah, that's great. If we zoom in just on the EU activities, what would you say are the three main priorities for your work as ESA chair?
The three main priorities, well, they are running already for quite some time. The first one, of course, is what is going to happen with the neonics, and linked to that, the further availability of active ingredients, either to maintain them or to get new ones. The second definitely is the draft guidance document on treated seeds, which is already running for 8 years, and we hope to get it somehow settled, and this hopefully will give us some more guideline for the EU Regulation 1107/2009. And then we have, of course, the revision of the 1107 itself. So there are quite some things to be done, and we are very actively working on that within ESA Stat. We have a very well working group with people who are really ambitious, who want to move the things forward.
Yeah, thank you. If I could expand on one of those points that you mentioned, the authorization of crop protection products. You mentioned that it's getting more difficult every time. What do you think should change on the EU regulatory side?
Well, on the EU regulatory side, the optimum solution would really be if a product is registered in one member state, it can be used. And use, I mean, this is always the big question or the big discussion, but use according to most member states and EU Commission itself is the application of the product on the seed. So for the time being, we are restricted that in the way that the product needs to be registered in the country of application. We would love to see it in the end saying, well, if we have free movement of treated seeds, then where is the difference to do the seed treatment in one member state and not in the other, because it's not registered there. This is something which is, well, a little bit unlogic.
Yeah, I fully see your point, and I would wholeheartedly support that. Yes, I fully agree. Klaus, we have been watching all from the sidelines a bit the three, I like to call them mega mergers, where at least 5 companies that are very active in the European seed sector are buying each other, are merging. What in your view is going to be the impact on the European seed sector? Well,
what the precise impact will be, I think I cannot say, but there will be definitely an impact. Mm-hmm. I mean, looking at the situations, if we look at the portfolios which are going to be merged, mm-hmm. there will be definitely a changed picture of the competition. There mm-hmm. will be a different approach. Maybe we will see a sort of somehow bundling of seed and any linked chemicals or plant protective products. Yeah. All these things are possible. I mean, the longer you think about it, the more ideas one will get, but it will definitely change the landscape.
Yeah. I see. As a company, how would you prepare yourself for these major changes?
Well, I mean, the point is, what possibilities do we have? Mm-hmm. In the end, the only possibility is to do as we have been doing before for 150 sure. years within KWS.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I think 150 years.
160 already.
Amazing.
1856. Yeah. So I think what we are doing is to concentrate on what we know, where mm-hmm. we know yep. are our strengths. And this is what we have to handle.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. Klaus, you're here at the ESA annual meeting. I've seen you many times before. Why is it for you so important to come to this meeting in person?
Well, I mean, this is always a very good occasion, although it's very stressful these 2 or 3 days mm-hmm. to stay here with all the meetings, but you have the chance to meet an awful lot of people.
Yeah, sure.
Even if it's a short period, but at least you meet, and this mm-hmm. physical type of meeting is something which is, at least for me, very important, because mm-hmm. it's based on personal relationship, mm-hmm. it's based on trust, it's based on confidence and all these things. So I personally must say it is something which is very good, mm-hmm. and it's, for me, it's very good to move around instead of being as in the old times only in Brussels. Yeah. Now moving all around Europe is something I really like, and I think it has brought a lot of success for ESA itself. In terms of getting a much higher presence of people. I think this year we have 950 participants. I heard. Mm-hmm. So that's a big success, I would think. Yeah. And for me personally, it's really very valuable to be here and to meet people in person.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Good luck with all your meetings. Thank you, Klaus. Okay.
Thanks, Mike.